She's getting some headshots this time.
I know.
Smile for Mama.
Hi, Mom.
So happy.
Say hi, Mom. Wave.
Okay, so tonight we're gonna do pictures, and first I'm gonna start out throwing a very basic pitcher type form that even some of you that have a little pottery experience can try. Okay, it's gonna be very much a basic cylinder, and this can be in any sort of size. This one's going to be sort of medium size, I would say, maybe half a gallon when it's all done, maybe a little smaller. So I centered the clay, arbitrary amount was probably about 3 pounds or so. Right, find center, press down. Now this is going to have a flat bottom, so I'm going to go, not all the way to the bat, but leave myself somewhere between 1/8 and 1/4 of an inch, so that way there's not too much weight down there. Okay, if I need to, I can check with my pin tool. Right, hook my hands in and pull straight back towards me. Pulling that bottom nice and flat and parallel, so that wall's even. Right now I'm going and compressing that floor, so I'm just pressing very lightly with the sponge and running my fingers back and forth. Okay.
How many pounds was it?
How many pounds was this? I didn't weigh it, but I would guess 3 pounds maybe. If I really want to make sure that bottom is sort of nice and compressed but also nice and smooth, I'll just use the edge of this rib. Now press down. Okay, the benefit of this too is that you have this nice 90-degree angle that pushes up against the side, sort of defining that bottom wall where it meets the floor. And with a pitcher, this is important, so that way you make sure you get all that clay up from the bottom. Because a pitcher, you want it to be as light as possible, because when you fill it with liquid, it's going to be really heavy. So the less weight you can have in the pitcher, the better. So starting right at the bottom, right, giving it that one-handed kind of grip move, where I'm pinching like this and pulling up with one hand. And I'm able to move a lot of clay at once by doing this. And if you noticed, as I was lifting, I was pulling inward, right? So this is making a sort of cone shape. So I'm going to go back right down to the bottom. Run my finger this edge, right? It gives me that nice sort of thickness of clay to push up. So I'm leaving the top edge a little bit thicker, right? Because I need a little bit of room to pull a spout, and also for functional reasons like chipping. If those edges are thicker, they always last longer. So I'm going to make one. Yeah, so I'm going to make one last pull now, moving clay up with the rib on the outside, and this will get rid of all these throwing lines. Two metal ribs, so now I'm going to compress the walls and I'm going to get rid of the throwing lines on the inside. Yeah, it takes practice. It's all about, it's weird because you don't have that same sensitivity to touch as you do with your finger.
Is the inside angled there?
The curved side.
Okay, got it.
The curved side, yeah. Yeah, so
I
it's
haven't been brave enough to do it without. I use that real soft red one inside because I'm afraid.
because, like I said, you lose that sensitivity,
Yeah.
how hard you're pushing. So I don't know. You have to get used to the feel of this for a while before you
I
can
figure
do
I'll
it.
get used to the red rib, and then maybe I'll advance to the metal one.
So there you have
That's
it.
good.
You know, this is a basic cylinder. It's a little slanted in, right? You can make it more pronounced depending on the shape that you want your pitcher, right? This is the simplest of pitchers, or simplest forms for a pitcher. So I'm gonna clean up the bottom edge. Now what defines this is the pouring spout, right, as a pitcher. So the same way I pulled those spouts on those little batter bowls I threw last week is the same way I'm going to pull this. So I'm going to start by kind of pinching first and flattening out that rim that I left thicker, okay, and sort of define the width of the pouring spout. So I don't know, it's maybe what, like 1.5 inches. Okay, and just with water and applying pressure with my fingers and pulling up. I'm going to stretch this edge out, give it a little bit of height. Okay, everybody see that? So then I'm going to now fold these sides in to create sort of that cupping motion to funnel the water. So it's just a little twist with my finger, or fingers, I should say. Okay, and we dry hands. Do a little lift. So pinch right here and just pull up and back. And this just gives a little bit of sort of gesture to the form as it sort of gives it the feel that it wants to pour. You know, it gives it that gesture of sort of tipping over a little bit. Okay, so that, and then what I would do is add a handle here and pull down there, and so you'd have a very basic, you know, and this could be 1 pound and be a creamer.
Did you have to trim the bottom at all on that?
I left it flat, so the same thing with those mugs. I'll just go back with this red rubber
Yeah.
and smooth it out when it's stiffened up. Maybe later in this class.